Welcome back. I'm looking into implementing Azure Key Vault into Resonite's cloud-based services. We want to do this because it will enable us to update certain secrets without the application restarting and to automatically push out those secrets to anywhere that needs them. There's also, because it's using Key Vault, there is role-based access control on who can read and manage the secrets, which means that different services will be able to not have or have access to certain secrets, and different members of the team will be able to update or not update secrets depending on their roles or requirements. When doing this, I really wanted to integrate it with the options pattern. The options pattern is my preferred way of doing configuration within the ASP.NET or Microsoft Extensions sort of landscape where you've got a dependency injection container. I couldn't find a way to do it. And so outside of outside of Resonite's infrastructure, I decided to make a test project. It's finally started working. I wanted to talk you through it. So first of all, real note on the disclaimer here, this is a sample project for demonstration purposes only. No production secrets are ever shared or inserted into this app. Please follow Azure's best practices for Key Vault and follow log redaction guidance as well to make sure you don't do what we're exactly about to do. So what we wanted to do this for primarily was Patreon, because sometimes we're having an issue where our Patreon keys will expire. And then when that happens, we have to schedule time with an engineer to then update that access token from Patreon's website and put it into the app. And then the app actually has to refresh, and there is some downtime associated with that. So instead, we're going to start using Azure Key Vault. I've got this example set up to sort of go through that. If we go ahead and we take a look at our program, you can see here that it's very, very simple. This is just like a very basic ASP.NET Core thing. And all it does is if we're in production, it adds Azure Key Vault from our configuration with the managed identity. Managed identity is the identity of the machine that is running the Azure app. So on my local machine, this won't even work. And on your machine, it won't work, right? There's absolutely no credential leakage here because we're using managed identity credential. And then we add options, which is the options pattern. And options takes a POCO, which is a plain old CLR object. So it's a very basic object, nothing complicated about it. You can put methods in there, and the only method I put here is a log tokens method, which again, it's just for demonstration purposes. Don't do this. It's stupid. As you can see, it's just a simple object here. You'll also notice that it doesn't have any of the sort of JSON attributes or anything like that. That's all automatic when you're using this approach. You can also use .autobind here, which goes through extensions options.autobinder, which is referenced in the README here. I love extensions.options.autobinder. It takes care of all the confusing configuration stuff and just gets you out clean IOptions stuff. So with that all set up, we've then got a background worker. Most of Resonite's cloud services have a background worker, and that's sort of a service that's on top of like a usual HTTP based thing. You can see here that I've got a minimal endpoint. That's where you specify the endpoint just like inline. We usually use controllers for like more production code. Inside this endpoint, we get what's called an IOptions snapshot, which is a snapshot of a particular options object at the time of the request, and then we just return that back to the requested caller. Again, don't do that. This is just for demonstration purposes. What we're more interested in at Resonite, though, is inside the worker, because inside the worker, what you can imagine is, actually, you probably all heard of it, the Patreon updater every 6 hours or approximately. That sort of looks like this. I've removed all the complexity, and it's rewritten from scratch. It probably looks nothing like the Patreon updater, but the point here is that this will run forever within one of the cloud services, every now and again, just taking a look at things and updating Patreon. And that's where the key expiring became a problem, because it would do some Patreon operation with an old key. But thanks to the wonderful qualities of IOptionsMonitor, we have an on-change event, which we can then just go ahead and remake our Patreon client with the new keys when we get them in from the configuration provider. We just log these every second, and that's all we're really doing here. If I tab over to my browser, you'll see here that I've got this running on a app service instance. This is running on my own subscription. Again, there are no production secrets here. It doesn't matter. Like, whatever you're doing to this thing, it doesn't matter. I'll probably delete it like in an hour or two. This is just for demonstration purposes. So what you can see if we scroll all the way up to sort of where it starts, we can see here that we're getting the current keys for demonstration purposes only with a campaign of fart and a token of dummy token. Those are both coming from Key Vault already, and you can see that because if we go down to our app settings.json here, you'll see that I specify them locally in JSON as invalid. So they'd come up as invalid if Key Vault wasn't working. There's our Key Vault URL, by the way. Again, it's just a test, and I'm going to delete it in like 5 minutes, so don't worry about it. If we go back to the browser now, we can go over to this tab, which is the Key Vault. Again, test Key Vault, nothing problematic in it at all. Now, the naming scheme's a little bit weird. It is referred to in the README, but there is a dash where you might have a dot. So if you look at the dummy Patreon keys POCO, dummy Patreon keys dot campaign ID gets translated in Key Vault land into dash. No idea why, but we'll just deal with it. So if we go into the campaign ID here, we'll see that we have older versions of this secret, and we can make a new version of the secret. So what we can do here is say, hey, the campaign ID for Patreon changed. It used to be this ID. Now it is potato. And then we'll go ahead and we'll hit create on that. And we'll tab back over to here. And we'll scroll down to the bottom. And we should see within a minute or two that the Key Vault picks this up. We're just going to sit here and we'll wait for that to happen. I did test this just before making this recording, but who knows? That was the health check. There we go. It did it. So you'll see it refreshed the keys, and then it got the new key here, campaign potato token dummy token. If we go back, we can also do that for dummy token as well. So here is our access token. Again, we can do new version, and we can put in, let's put in my dog's name, because my dog is sat right next to me trying to get me to throw a ball. So we'll put that in. So we'll tab back over. And then, like I said, we have to wait about a minute. You can configure this. It'll be in the source code I shove on GitHub. But any second now, we'll see potato and then feta and dog's name. That is the health event again, and it's updated. Current keys for demonstration purposes, campaign token, potato, token, feta. So there you go. That is proof of concept that we can get everything working with all the parts of Azure and IOptions and stuff that I wanted to get working with. If you Google search like IOptionsMonitor, Azure Key Vault, you won't get much. Now you will, because I've done this work and I'm putting it on GitHub. Hope you enjoyed that. I just copied that URL because one of the other things I can do here in, I'll do it in this tab to try and not leak anything, is I can go to that health endpoint and you'll see current keys are potato feta. So that's showing that you can get the keys out in a endpoint handler. Again, you shouldn't be locking these to the browser, but like, you know, you can get it within an endpoint handler and you can get it from a background worker. I'll see you next time. If that made no sense, great. But I hope you enjoyed. Speak soon.